Hey guys, Dr. Biandello here, and I guess we're kind of forced to talk about the coronavirus. So I want to give you my thoughts on it, some tips I can give you to make sure that you're protecting yourself and you're leaving yourself and your family. You're doing the best and the most that you can do to keep yourself safe and healthy. So obviously, let's talk about the coronavirus in itself. At first, I was like many others that believe that this is just a no big deal. We're making it too big of a deal out of it, so on and so forth. But I've actually had some time to do a little bit of research on this, and I'm talking like not just researching CNN or Fox News. I'm talking St. John's, Harvard University, peer-reviewed PubMed articles, things that are written from epidemiologists that show real statistics and things like that. And the common question I think that most people, or statement I should say, that most people are making is, it's just like the flu, and the flu is this and that, and every year we experience the same mortality and infections and so on and so forth. Yes, that's true in one sense, but in the other, what you have to really look at, and what's interesting about this coronavirus 19 is that the incubation period is so much longer than per se the flu. So the incubation period for the typical flu is about 2 days. So that means within 2 days of you contracting that influenza, you're going to experience or show some type of sign or symptom that would generally lead you to stay indoors. You're not feeling good, you're staying at home, and you're contaminating less people, right? Well, the interesting thing about the coronavirus is that we can only go off of, because it's a new strand, we can only go off of other COVID viruses. So for example, the MERS, that shows a incubation period of about 5.5 days or so. So that's the reference, and that seems to be the trend with this particular strand, the COVID-19, is that it's about 5.5 to 7 days on average, but it's showing signs upwards of 17 days, somewhere past that 2-week mark. So what that means is you or I can be, contaminated at this point, and we could be carriers of the virus, and we're not going to show a sign or a symptom for 2 weeks. So we're walking around doing our daily things, and think of how many people that you came into contact with over that 2-week period of time. Several people, hundreds and hundreds of people, if not thousands, and those people are carrying it, and those people are carrying it. So that's where the fear with this whole coronavirus is coming from, is that the incubation period is so long and we're not showing symptoms right away, and so you're exponentially infecting millions and millions of people over a period of time. So that's the thought process behind it, and that seems to be where it's headed, and that's where the media is driving the hype. And I think we're at a point where we have to kind of take this serious. And again, at first I was like, this is, no big deal, but then I really started looking at that seems to be the key factor, is that incubation period. So we have to take it serious. If you start seeing things like the NBA, the MLB, the NHL, colleges shutting down, and I think we're heading towards something similar to that, where we're going to have to kind of lock down and control contain the virus in itself, so it doesn't spread like that, like wildfire. So those are my thoughts on that. So not to build fear. I think in the end, what we have to focus on is what we could do to give ourselves, I don't want to say a fighting chance, because the reality is that this virus, it does attack those who have a weakened immune system, a compromised immune system, chronic disease, and elderly, those things of that nature. But it doesn't have any boundaries. So what we want to do is use this opportunity to do what we can to protect ourselves the most. And what better time than to get healthy, right? So all the things we have to focus on are boosting our immune system, eating well, exercise, sleep well. Those things are things in itself will boost your immune system, give yourself a better fight against any virus, not just the coronavirus, the flu, anything. So start doing that. It's never too late. Start eating, focusing on a good diet, strong diet, getting a little bit of exercise, and getting good sleep, quality sleep. So those are the given. Of course, we have to wash our hands, the 20 seconds. I think those are all things that we all know, innately know. Covering your mouth when you sneeze, I think we all know that. But what we can do is start to take care of our bodies today, right? Start making those changes and start little by little. So a few things, tips I wanted to give, additional tips that we could do to protect ourselves that we're not really thinking of, like wash your cell phone, right? You're touching your cell phone, you go wash your hands, but then you put it back on your face and your mouth. Wash your phones at your office space. Make sure you're wiping those down. Those surfaces that are highly contaminated surfaces, we want to make sure that we're getting those cleaned down too. Your countertops at home, all those things. A couple things I wanted to share with you as far as foods. If you're thinking that in the event we do have a little bit of a lockdown, no, I don't think everything's going to be completely shut down, but I think we will be restricted at some point. We're trending in that direction, seeing as spectators are not allowed at any major sporting events. They're shutting down election polls and things like that. Colleges, I think it won't be long before our grade schools and elementary, high schools, and so on and so forth get shut down. So yes, food will be, it's already happening now. You're seeing, empty shelves. So some things that you can get to make sure that you have plenty of food and it's going to last is rice. Those are good things that good carbs that you can, load up on, and you don't need much of it to feel full, if you will. Lentils, vegetables. You can always freeze vegetables. So get vegetables, whether raw or whether frozen, and make sure that you freeze the ones that you're not using right away, and you can always pull those back out and use them. I'm not going to tell you to buy into the toilet paper hype. I think that's a little crazy, but just a few tips out there. I wanted to share with you my thoughts and ideas, and feel free to ask any questions. Oh, and by the way, if you haven't seen statistics on how much getting adjusted boosts your immune system, you could read up on them. So get adjusted, come see us, we'll boost your immune system.